772, show me service, please.
Received.
Good morning, everybody. I only got a little bit this morning. We're going to be in the camps today, checking on people, and we're going to be... I've got a meeting this morning.
Missing hotshot. Subject's going to be Christy Graver, 410
Let's
of
see.
1950. Does not have a phone with her.
Charlie 219-114, traffic hazard hotshot, 7,000 block 290 eastbound, green pickup stalled. So, this is eastbound frontage road.
105 to 101. 101, go. Okay, just making sure you're clear. I'm out to you, but it's from 290 in Harris Springs.
Edit.
Alright, don't worry about it. I just stand by.
We're going to get moving in just a second. I'm actually editing a video on my phone.
Henry 106. David 105 101. Complainant advising subject has never gone further than 2 blocks, but she's been unable to find her in that area.
Good.
If you could actually preempt and check by with those Charlie units, they're trying to clear out the 2600 East 7th, and then David 105
All right.
is en route priority to Justice Urgent 44.
Oh, man.
Charlie 105 is 75, Henry 17. The Bolero. Male subject refusing to leave the scene, is intoxicated. White male wearing black hat, yellow jacket, black shirt, and black pants.
Number 106, those Charlie units. Y'all need me running hot? Page 805.
Pluckers.
Charlie 101. Frank 107.
10-9.
Eating in Henry 106.
I've really got to put some
Engine 23 is out here.
oil on my door. I'm sick of hearing that
I'm trying to get up to
squeaking.
the car now, but I'm imagining that's probably part of the problem. Negative.
So we had big hail last night here in Austin. It was like round after round, storm after storm after storm coming through. I think there was at least 4 storms that came through Austin dropping hail last night. Was that first storm that went through that kind of clipped the north part of Austin. Had the conditions been a little bit different, that storm was rotating, and had there been just a little bit of a different conditions on that storm, we would have had a tornado here too. I mean, it was ready to go. It was just missing, this something called low-level shear. And had that ingredient been in place, we would be having a completely different conversation this morning. Would have been having a completely different conversation. That was very close. Very, very close. I mean, that storm was ready to go. It was set up. It had a mesocyclone. It was ready to rock and roll. Was missing one ingredient. Incredibly scary. Especially because it went through one of the more populated parts of Austin. That's what's kind of scary about it. But it had the classic hook. It was spinning. It was ready to go.
David 101 through 23.
Scary stuff, indeed.
Texas. 180528. George Mary.
So anybody listening, what did y'all get hail? How big was the hail? Do you have any damage? Interested to see where the people that actually took damage, where you're located.
Fundamental subject on board. We're going to relocate to the Life Austin Church parking lot.
Frank, one of them. Oh, you can do that.
Oh man, that's just spring. It's still March, April. We're not even in, what is it, April? It's April now, so we're still early in storm season. I mean, we haven't even gotten into May yet. So we've got a lot of time to go before we're done with these spring storms. Still have a lot of time to go.
Baker 102 is working on the DOC violation 4507 North I-35 on the east frontage. White Dodge Ram abandoned by the front gate, blocking part of the exit.
It'll be on.
Barry Switcher. Oh my God, Barry Switzer is on Twitter. Lakeway had pea-sized hail, lots of rain. Yeah, so I'm not, I guess I'm closer to Lakeway maybe than Austin, my house. I'm up basically in between Leander and Liberty Hill. So, and we got some pretty decent hail. Wasn't anything that was damaging or anything, but I think it got up to maybe an inch, right at an inch. But it was just the fact that 4 storms, just boom, back-to-back storms coming through this city last night, dropping hail, and that was the problem. And that, I mean, I've seen some pictures. Yeah, it was pretty active, Deborah. It wasn't as bad as what they were saying. So when the storm was kind of coming into my area, I was listening to the storm spotters on the radio, on their ham radios, and they were talking about baseball-sized hail that was happening in Burnett, and that storm was moving into my area, and it scared the piss out of me because, I mean, baseball-sized hail, that's pretty scary hail. And so we were worried, very worried about what was about to happen, but thank God that it didn't materialize, so to speak. But a lot of hail over this area, and that's one of the things that we deal with. Hail, these storms down around, in the Edwards Plateau, they're hailers. They're always hailers. Uh-oh. Somebody driving bad this morning. We don't deal with, I don't think, we necessarily deal with the amount of tornadoes that that happen, let's say up in Dallas and Oklahoma and that area, but we definitely deal with a lot of hail in these storms. I remember this was either last year, year before, maybe the year before. There was sometime in the last few years that the largest hailstone ever recorded fell It was out in between here and Eagle Pass, one of these little towns. And that hailstone went through a person's, roof and landed in their house. It was like 7.5 inches across. That is, can you imagine a hailstone that big? I can't imagine. If you got outside in baseball-sized hail, shit, wouldn't even have to be baseball-sized hail. Something smaller than that, and it hit you in the head, it'd probably kill you. I think it would anyway.
David 106, that might be related to our call.
Can you show me on a traffic hazard vehicle on the roadway, south, northbound frontage road, just off the Take Ridge exit?
Oh boy. The statesman has waded off into the abortion debate this morning. Donald Trump is wrong on Dems' abortion stance. They don't support the execution of babies. That's something. That's something.
David 10643, subject in this call is Leanna's underwear.
Baker 104 advising on found hazardous. Trouble going west 38 there.
What am I that for?
Center 25035803558.
Why is my camera locking up so much this morning? Oh, that's why. That's why.
You can make it. Why?
Rule number 32, crash urgent, 8900 block up Southside 35 northbound. AFB is on the scene advising that both vehicles will need a tow. I'd like here to request a tow.
Edward 109, go ahead.
Clear.
Can you clear 2 for 7 with 103? Hey, what's that? I'll be switching back camera.
Oh.
That's your first.
Edward 109, 10-4.
Clear 107. Clear 104.
David 104.
You need to go ahead and cancel your master fare card.
David 104, I'm sorry.
Unfortunately.
Go ahead. David 101 Shepherd status.
Sam William Young, 8116.
Or code 4.
Sam William Young, 8116.
Looks like C3 was in the line, it's been upgraded. No plan given. I know if there's any weapons in the home. Seats.
Oops.
She's been hospitalized in the past. Mental health history.
Oh, Tony Gonzalez is going down.
Charlie 101 code 4.
101 David 180 self-starting advisor on a burglar alarm 6019 Roxbury Lane. Yeah, 1 David 10 go 4.
Charlie 101.
Go ahead.
Can you give me a separate case number for CTN at this location?
101.
45th Street.
101 go.
Julian is 101, last 40400. 0400.
Okay, thank you.
Deborah, I don't know if you're still listening, but I like Lakeway. Lakeway is a pretty awesome little town. I really like Lakeway. There's an area out there that my wife and we looked at a home. I think, if I remember right, this was a few years ago. It was called The Hills out in Lakeway. But it was a little out of our price range by a smidge. But it was still a very nice area. Was very impressed with it.
If you can you get to your road and come and just block off the Tech Ridge exit
102.
northbound?
Edward 102, go
The
ahead.
truck is literally right there at the exit. The tires are broken off. We can't move it at all. We'll push it. Cars are coming out pretty fast.
If you can you get to your road and come and just block off the Tech Ridge exit northbound? The truck is literally right there at the exit and the tires are broken off. We can't move it at all. We'll push it. The cars are coming out pretty fast.
Zero, passing zero.
Any big unit check by Baker 107 on that service under
Baker
33 with all the trucks.
Take the one.
Baker
Up
107, hello,
can
bud.
you start, Hero?
Yeah.
Yeah. And gas. Hold on, sorry.
The state's neighbor above it.
Yeah.
Baker 102. Baker 107.
Baker 107. Neighbor states above him. Spring some kind of side.
I'm good for it. Can you start, Hero? He needs a jump and gas. He's hold on the service road.
Baker 107. Neighbor states above him are spraying some kind of pesticide.
Come on, young lady. Oh man, that car is all tore up. Okay, well. Man. That car got smashed. That car got smashed. It is going to be a beautiful day today.
7.34, 7:36.
I don't think it's supposed to rain, is it? No, it's supposed to be nice today. In the low 70s.
Parkway. It's not blocking. It's going to be a white Jeep and silver white says. We are rolling in. That's for Minor Ranger.
Clear, bro.
The caller's not providing additional information.
We're going to head down and check out the Barton Creek Greenbelt. I highly doubt anything's happening, but we're going to check out. We're going to go see. And then I have a meeting at 10 o'clock I've got to get to.
TV 180 on Frank. TV 180 or TV 103 on Frank.
Yeah, you know what? I've always heard that Westlake, I've always heard that there is a crime problem out there, but I can't really ever put my finger on what the problem really is. And that blows my mind a little bit that Westlake has that kind of a problem. But yeah, I've heard it in the past. What if you know, or if you can fill me in, what kind of crime mainly happens in Westlake? Is it property crimes, or I can't see violent crimes in that area, but I can definitely see property crimes. But we made the decision to go out to, our address is technically, we have a Leander address, but I'm almost certain we're in Liberty Hill city limits. I guess obviously I'm wrong, but
So I can release this ramp.
we are right on the edge of Liberty Hill and Leander. Let's put it that way.
Just keep it close for now.
And my house is
There's a
definitely
road
in
nearby.
Williamson
Just moving
County.
it slowly so the deck won't slip off. 10-4.
So I'm starting to request a lot of body camera footage from the city of Austin today. And they actually make it kind of hard. They make it kind of hard to to get this body camera footage. So, in order to get body camera footage from Austin Police Department, you have to have the date that it happened, the incident happened. You have to have the location, the specific location that the incident happened, and you have to have the name of the subject of the recording. The officer is not the subject of the recording. They will not give it to you with just the officer's name. You have to have the name of somebody that was involved in the incident. And sometimes that kind of information is incredibly hard to find. So we're trying our best right now to start getting body camera footage to release, and right now it hasn't been very easy. Let's see here. Homeless moving into Westlake, property crimes for sure. So I'm trying to set up. Whoa, they're trying to set up homeless camps in Westlake? Holy smokes. I'm going to have to get out there and go look around then, because I don't have actually, let me see. I don't think I have one homeless camp documented in Westlake right now. I don't think I have anything on the west side of Mopac at all, from like 45th on down. I do have some homeless camps that I've documented down by Southwest Parkway, but Westlake, Bee Caves, West Austin, that area, I don't have anything. Terrytown, nothing out there. I'll have to go take a look out there. You know, it's funny. What's happening here in Austin right now, we have been asking for an audit to audit the homeless situation in Austin. Audit where the money is going, how it's being spent, and if there's any progress being made. And we basically are told that it can't happen. Well, this happened in California. Same exact situation. People were asking for an audit out there. They couldn't do it. They couldn't provide it. Well, it comes back. They finally got the audit done. It comes back. Out in California, they have spent over $500 billion. $500 billion on the homeless problem. Now, what happened, though, this is what's crazy. The programs and the nonprofits that those billions of dollars was being funneled into, they stopped measuring any kind of metrics for success. So basically, it's they have no clue if any of the programs that they're funding were making a difference. They have no clue. They have no way to even measure any successes. They're basically just funneling billions of dollars into all of these programs and nonprofits, and they have no clue if it's working or not. And that's taxpayer money. And I am almost certain that that's what's happening here in Austin right now too. They don't want the audit to happen because they don't want to have to admit that, you know, they're spending dollars on programs that have no effect. Look up the AP incident reports. Date in question is like, yeah, that's what we're doing, Jack. We're doing that, but the problem is a lot of those incidents, they don't have the unless there was an arrest made at the time. If there was an arrest made during that incident, then the name of the arrestee is in that report or in that incident report. Now that's not totally true. They don't list the arrestee on every single one of them, but they do on the majority of them. If it's an incident, let's say for example, one of the body cameras that I just requested was for Shane James, the guy back on December 5th that killed all those people here in town. I requested the body camera footage from his arrest. And I'm trying to request the body camera footage from each scene that day so we can kind of put together a better timeline of events through video. So hopefully we'll be able to get that stuff. But yeah, they make it, for whatever reason here in Austin, they make it kind of hard to get this body camera footage. And then even when you have the information, sometimes they'll push back on you. Which they're not supposed to be. If you fulfill the requirements that they have, you should be able to get the body camera footage no matter what. But this is Austin after all. I've been trying to find a way to get the body camera footage of some of the incidents that happened on 6th Street Friday and Saturday night, to see to get a little better view of what's happening down on 6th Street. But again, most of those incidents down there are no arrestees, so you can't get the body camera if you don't have the subject of the recording. There's got to be an easier way to do it, to be quite honest. And also, it's definitely not cheap. Jack, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I'm not 100% on that. I will look it up and find out, but I don't think so. You would think that would be something that especially the people on the left in this city would want, is easier access to body camera footage. But the city of Austin, I mean, they're following the Texas state law when it comes to getting access to the body camera footage. There's a reason that with all of these new channels on YouTube and so forth that's posting a ton of body camera footage, that you very rarely see anything out of the state of Texas. And that's just because they just make it so hard to get the body camera footage. Other states, their laws are much more relaxed than what Texas state law is when it comes to accessing that footage. And you know, in my opinion, you shouldn't have to jump through hoops to get this footage. I mean, that footage belongs to the public. That footage belongs to you and I. So we should be able to see that footage whenever we want.
Just go to the other entrance down the road. Arizona, David 0650.
We're about to pull into the Barton Creek Greenbelt. We're going to see, just by chance, if they're actually down here doing anything. I highly doubt they're actually doing anything, but we'll see.
Pulled over in front of Falcon Head Apartment. Suspect, a dark-colored truck carrying a trailer, struck her, and it's going to be a black Ford Fiesta.
And one more is David 06.
But Jack, I think that's a good idea, making body camera footage easier to obtain as part of the contract negotiations. I think that's a great point. I think every side should want to have access to that footage. If there's bad cops, we don't want the bad cops. We want them rooted out, man. I don't think anybody wants bad cops on the street. I could be wrong. And we definitely know there are bad cops. I mean, this is a big city. There's a lot of cops, and you know there's some bad apples in there. And showing that body camera footage is a good way to root the bad cops out. I can tell you right now, if body camera footage was much more accessible, police officers would definitely, I think, be a little more hesitant to do bad things, especially wearing that body camera. One of the holdups was also APD not wanting public access. Yeah, and you know, I'm kind of divided on that one too. They wanted to limit the access to their, I think they call them G files or something like that. I think they're called G files. They're personnel files. And I think we should have access to them.
752 on scene.
I mean, they work for the taxpayers. We should be able to see that stuff, especially if there's been complaints and investigations and the outcomes of those investigations into the individual officers. Just my opinion.
736.
Those G files, that was a big problem. Big holdup. Yep, you're right, Jack. I think us as the public have a right to be able to see those files, especially the files of the police officers that have been investigated. I think that's something that we should be able to access as, you know, as the public. It's something that we should be able to see. I know if a police officer is working the streets and he had been investigated and found to have done, you know, whatever wrong, we should be able to find out about that and find out who that particular officer is.
CIT 16. Moved into the parking lot of Independent Apartments, 3400 627.
All right, we're pulling into the green belt right now. So let's see. Let's see what's happening back here.
And have a plate, victim plate, Texas, Land Boy 8238, supply Ford Fiesta.
Great. 107 have similar involvement to 1309. Go ahead.
84240.
1338.
Well, hang on. There's something going on back here, it looks like.
Expired February 24th.
Okay, thank you. Have a Texas deal.
Go ahead.
Looks like there's some big roll-off dumpsters here. Nope, hang on. Actually, is that the city?
736, I'll take that case number.
Case number 431.
Receive.
Let's see who this is, y'all. Yeah, that's Austin Resource Recovery. I don't know exactly. That's the truck that they are using. Well, they haven't cleaned that yet.
Well, it's easy on the 23.
There's definitely some stuff happening out here. That's Austin. There's two Austin Resource Recovery trucks here, and it is 9:15.
Return.
Interesting.
Last name Santana is current and clear.
Interesting.
Okay, thank you.
Traffic.
Good.
Still nothing's been done there.
Tom Charles, 0965, Morninig 18, 3 o'clock. Henry Robert, 8328, Gray Volkswagen.
Out.
All right.
Excellent. 2491, we're on the hospital, so it's full advice.
Copy.
Okay.
No, we're going to go into room 419.
I clear 419.
Okay. Okay. Let's get out. Let's go hang out. We're gonna go hang out at the entrance and see what happens. See if they're gonna actually do this or not. See if any other trucks show up out here at least.
Wait for 91 show clear.
They're definitely just kind of hanging out, waiting around. Oh yeah, they're moving. I think they're moving stuff out. I think they're definitely moving stuff out.
Yeah.
Show me your road to Travis County Plan.
Adam 214, log at 28 out of Georgia, please.
We're gonna park right here.
Robert,
Wait.
Mary, 23.
All right, guys. I'll tell you what. I've got to make some phone calls and see if I can figure out what's happening out here. I'll go live a little bit later and give y'all a view of what's happening. But I'll be back.